Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca and I'm the Director of Education for San Diego Audubon Society. Since 2015, San Diego Audubon has partnered with Audubon California and the Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge to offer our Sharing Our Shores Salton Sea program to elementary school students in Imperial County. This year, we're excited to offer your organization a virtual training of the history and logistics of the program so that you can teach students about the importance of the Salton Sea for local and migratory birds. In this training, we will cover the following topics: an overview of the Sharing Our Shores Salton Sea program, the importance of the Salton Sea for birds, the Sharing Our Shores in-class program, field trip to the Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge, the student conservation themed posters, and how the Sharing Our Shores program can be adapted to your area. Sharing Our Shores is an environmental education program that teaches students about shorebirds through science, education, and art. Students learn about the biology and threats to migratory shorebirds through in-class lessons and field trips to shorebird nesting and resting sites. Using art as a platform for teaching the community about the importance of sharing coastal and shoreline habitats for threatened and endangered birds, students design posters to teach the public the ways they can share the shore with local and migratory birds. As a result, student signs have been placed along California's coasts and shorelines, promoting awareness and protection of nesting and wintering habitat for migratory birds. As part of the Colorado River Delta, the Salton Sea filled and dried for thousands of years prior to its current 35-mile-long stretch, which came into existence as a result of a massive flood of the Colorado River in 1905. The 330-square-mile sea has partially replaced wetland habitat lost to agriculture and urban conversion in the Colorado River Delta, California's coast, and the San Joaquin Valley. The Salton Sea is one of the most critical inland wintering, nesting, and stopover sites for more than 400 species of birds along the Pacific Flyway. The sea supports up to 90% of eared grebes, 50% of ruddy ducks, and 30% of the American white pelicans that winter in North America. The Salton Sea is also increasingly one of the most imperiled, as water flowing to the sea has been diverted for agricultural use and human consumption. It is anticipated that the total volume will shrink by 60% in the coming years. As the sea shrinks, the salinity will rise and it will be more contaminated with selenium, making it inhospitable for birds, fish, and aquatic invertebrates. It will also expose up to 100 square miles of lake bed, resulting in massive dust storms that will spew up to 30,000 tons of dust in the air each year, worsening the already poor air quality in the region and causing high rates of asthma, particularly in children, in the nearby communities. Currently, most community members have little knowledge of the human health hazards at the Salton Sea, and many have never been to see the stunning number of migratory birds the sea supports. One of the hallmarks of Audubon's mission is to offer opportunities to engage community families in nature and educate the next generation of environmental stewards. To learn more about how Audubon California is helping mitigate the effects of water and habitat loss in the Salton Sea, as well as the extraordinary array of birds that rely on this inland refuge, please visit ca.audubon.org/Salton Sea. One of the ways we hope to raise awareness of these issues, educate kids, and empower an authentic community voice in the fate of the Salton Sea is through Audubon's Sharing Our Shores program. Through in-class lessons, conservation-themed signs, and a field trip to the Sonny Bono Wildlife Refuge at the Salton Sea, students learn about inland shorebirds and the habitats of the Salton Sea region. This program has been designed for 3rd and 4th grade students, but it can be adapted for any age level and key bird species. Sharing Our Shores begins with an Audubon Adventures pre-activity to introduce the students to inland shorebird anatomy, adaptations, and threats. Audubon Adventures student newspapers are available to download free of cost in both English and Spanish versions. The magazines are available in a wide variety of topics, though we utilize the Sharing Our Shores issues available at audubonadventures.org. Each class is presented with an in-person or virtual lesson by Audubon staff. The presentation introduces the students to the importance of the Salton Sea and prepares them for the content they will discuss in their field trip. It also introduces them to the conservation-themed art poster project, as well as gives the students an opportunity to practice sketching their posters together with Audubon staff. A link to this PowerPoint presentation will be available at the end of this training. The in-class lesson takes approximately 45 minutes to complete. In order to prepare the students for their conservation-themed posters, staff spends the last 15 to 20 minutes of the lesson discussing the criteria for the project and practicing sketching poster ideas. It is also a great time to review the field trip logistics with the teachers, such as the field trip location, arrival time, permission forms, and more. The field trip to the Sunny Bono Wildlife Refuge allows students the opportunity to experience the vast habitats that the sea provides for a variety of wildlife, including local and migratory inland shorebirds. Students gather outside of the Visitor Center for a general welcome from the Audubon and Sunny Bono Wildlife Refuge staff. They are then divided into smaller groups to rotate through stations in the field. For our field trips, we offer the following field trip stations: Observation Deck Viewing and Visitor Center, Bird Identification using binoculars, Threats to Nesting Shorebirds, and a hike to the top of the volcano. After the students have practiced sketching their posters in class and have visited the Salton Sea on their field trip, they complete the final versions of their posters at school. The materials needed for the project are simple. We use 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock paper and colored pencils, markers, or crayons. As a reminder, the posters should be vertical so that they fit on a signpost. Include the student's first name and school name, and include an important conservation-themed message along with their drawing. Messages should be tailored to the needs of your nature space, such as "Please stay on the trail," "Birds only beyond this point," or "Help keep our waterways clean for wildlife." Student posters can be displayed as an art show, community event, or virtual art presentation. Select posters can be manufactured into plastic signs to install at area beaches, or laminated to be displayed in wildlife areas. However you choose to use your student posters, they should allow the students to feel like their voice is making a positive impact to shorebirds of the Salton Sea. At San Diego Audubon, we have modified the Sharing Our Shores program to include threatened and endangered shorebirds and seabirds of San Diego County, coastal birds of the Tijuana Estuary, and of course the local and migratory birds of the Salton Sea. This program is highly adaptable to the birds of your region and the threats faced to your local nature spaces. By tailoring the in-class lessons, field trips, and poster messaging, you are able to provide students with a thorough program connecting them to the nature in their community and instilling in them a sense of pride to share the shores with local wildlife. Thank you for joining me today for our Sharing Our Shores Salton Sea Training. We are very excited to expand this program in the Salton Sea region so that more students and community members can learn how to protect and appreciate the local and migratory wildlife of the Salton Sea. To learn more about the work Audubon California and San Diego Audubon are conducting in the Salton Sea region, please visit our websites. The in-class lessons and supplemental teaching materials for the Sharing Our Shores Salton Sea program will be available for download after this training video. A special thank you goes out to the San Diego Audubon volunteers who provided the photos and videos for this training.